All right, and we're back. Going to do fishing shit. We're gonna go
Yeah.
fish for some stuff.
Hopefully, the horrible monsters will not interrupt the fishing that much.
Oh, let's be fair, they will.
Um, but yeah, there's like that question of we were talking about kind of the world maps in games and kind of that symbolic distance in terms of like, oh yeah, you're walking across this big area, even if it is just like two tiles of land,
Yeah.
because you're in the world map and implied scope, etc.
Yeah,
And then I feel like there's definitely been a lot of kind of tension trying to resolve that in the Final Fantasies since then.
yeah. I would almost be fine if it was when you got into like the airship and stuff, it was the same scope,
Mhm.
but you could fly between you'd fly between different areas, and you just couldn't get out of your airship unless you were in an area.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be effectively the same. It would be the same sort of effect as just having an airship in the overworld map.
right.
you
I
know.
mean, did you ever play? Um.
Well, I was gonna bring up another example that, I don't know. I felt like the scope and the lack of scope differences in Xenoblade Chronicles
Mhm.
X specifically, which is a game that I really enjoy, but a lot of the quests and stuff, I felt like the things that they put in the game were more MMO style things to get you doing stuff, like things that really didn't feel like they felt like pretty much empty calories. Like they kind of gave you that boost in emotion, but it really didn't last that long. Or
So, like, are we talking filler content, or are we talking
it's
like?
the content that they put in was like it's almost all filler, and it's kind of like all designed exactly the same way. It's very very templated, and this is even trouble I had with
You've improved.
I don't know. I think we were talking about how the side quests in this game really don't have any
Right.
side quests in this game, or talking about how we don't like side quests that don't have any actual real content.
Right. It's kind of like
It's just a thing for you to do.
do things you already would have done. Go fishing, collect these things.
I don't mind that so much. I don't mind having because I probably wouldn't do fishing
Sure.
on my own. I mean, I did one time, but I probably wouldn't do it very much on my own if there weren't quests to do it.
Sure.
And so I like getting double rewarded for doing certain things, or having that kind of like small incentive, or little rewards for using mechanics that I wouldn't otherwise use because I wouldn't know how to use them, or I wouldn't have any incentive to learn.
Mhm.
But it seems that a lot of the side quests are just constructed for you to do a thing, to keep you occupied,
Sure.
which is in general what a game should be. But we were also saying that in other Final Fantasy games, when there were side quests, they would be very thematically relevant,
right. Like it kind of
and
reminds me
even
of-
story relevant.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like how many have you played many MMOs?
I've not many. I've played WoW really as a
Okay.
prime
I mean-
example, and that's. I mean, they do a lot of great story stuff, or like story related things, and their writing is really good, but like for their overarching story anyway. But I mean, it doesn't really cover up the fact that almost everything in that game is just busy work. It's just to keep you addicted, empty calories.
Right.
You have to eat more because you're not getting the right nutrition, and you just keep eating more,
Right, I mean, it
because
kind of
that's all
like-
that's available.
Like that was kind of a thing I noticed when I was playing WildStar, where it's just kind of like here are a bunch of quests, and they're all to do things you would normally do, regardless. It's just then you kind of get like 20 quests, and you go to the area where all the quests are, and then you just do stuff there to level.
Yeah.
and so forth and so on. And I feel like that design principle has kind of influenced a lot of RPGs.
Yeah, and
as of
I
recent.
don't like that. Like the thing you shouldn't take an idea that is for an entirely different gameplay type and try to meld it into, you know, something that, like, for instance, something that you have to pay for on a monthly basis. The whole point is to keep you paying month after month. So you want to keep people addicted, which is mostly why I don't play those games.
Right.
You know, people will say, you know, hey, oh yeah, you know, I do it to play with my friends. It's like, no, you do it because you're addicted to it.
I mean, people do it to play with their friends.
Yeah, I did. I only played for like a month or two though.
Right.
I
I mean, because
don't know.
it's kind of the question of like,
and this is very much a difference of this is a very much of an opinion thing. It's not, you know, it's not my opinion is correct. You should let up on the line a little bit. Yeah, now you can.
Ah, the line's gonna snap.
Yeah, let up on the line. Let up on the line. You're losing durability real quick.
You did good.
Nox, you can show a bit of emotion, you know.
hopefully, no, that's not the thing they even wanted.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. Like, I do like the fact that, and really when it comes down to it, you don't even really have to play this game. You don't have to do like any of the side quests in this game,
Right.
and
But
you
then
still
the
get
thing is-
probably just as much out of it. But I don't know. I think in a game like Xenoblade Chronicles, like I was saying, a lot of the quests are pretty much the same, and they pepper little rewards, but rewards that really don't have any like relevance. Like, you can find items everywhere; they're all over. There's little crystals on the ground. You pick them up, and you just accrue. And one of the things is even like a collection part for each region. You have to collect every type of item, because they all these items respawn after a certain amount of time.
Right.
But there's no real use for most, like, for a lot of them, there's no real use. I mean, there's some weird crafting stuff you can do, but you get so many of the uncommon items, you don't really care about them, and you don't really use them. I never really used them very much, and there were no items that you could use without crafting something. So it wasn't there. It was just like you're getting pieces of stuff to use in other stuff, but it didn't. It was just like, it felt to me like just, you know, it was all the game was telling me is just walk around, you know, and that's what I did a lot of the times. It was, you know, a lot of grinding in that game for items was just teleport back to an area, run through this area, pick up all the items you can until you get the item that you need, and then do it over again.
Right.
And then a lot of the quests were, you know, find these specific items which were placed on the map in the same spot but were red.
Right.
It was, you know, it's all fetch quests or defeat an enemy. It's
Not gonna last.
unlike in, you know, Skyrim or any of the Elder Scrolls games where you have like really nice quests, like any of the Assassin's quests where you can do them different ways, but it's often you have to talk to people about stuff and like figure out things that you can steal or have to steal, or, you know, tricks to assassinate people,
Right.
or, you know, whatever. You can go about things in different ways, and there's actually kind of like a story part of it. Like, it's a lot more,
Note.
it's a lot less cookie cutter.
Right. Because that's the thing. It's kind of like, turns out a lot of these games do not have complicated, or okay, I think I'm going to give up on this quest because I keep catching the wrong kind of fish.
What kind of fish are you trying to catch?
A crag barramundi, and
Alright.
I've caught 2 dank barramundis, but so far no crag
Yeah,
barramundis.
let's just give up on that for now. All right, let's pick another one. And
Yeah, maybe we could actually. So maybe let's just go down here and see what these quests are. So the next area quest
and
the
next day
side
quest. Maybe not. Maybe let's do another thing that maybe if something brings us down there. But what do we have on our?
Well, the thing is, the main quest we have to do is like try to get Titan.
No. The main quest is the red one.
Oh, the main quest. That's to go all the way over here.
It's not all the way. It's only
Sure.
plus you get a magic flask.
Sure. And like half the experience we got for collecting frogs.
Mm-hmm. What's a lower level one?
Sure.
I guess you return to the car.
I guess I've mostly been enjoying walking around,
Mm.
even if it is slower.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's the other thing is it's like it turns out the car is not actually really all that necessary, even.
That's it.
Unless you're trying not to waste time,
Sure.
Come up with a new recipe.
which
Can't wait to try it.
apparently not what we're trying to do.
Apparently. You know, that's kind of the question of like how structured is the game in terms of like
It's close.
the not necessarily the mechanics, but like kind of the structure of the plot and the structure of the way you are kind of expected to play through it. Because it's kind of like in this game, it is very clear that you are not expected to do nothing but the main plot. You're expected to go and do a bunch of side quests and wander around.
Well, I don't know.
Um,
I don't know if you're expected to do that, but I think they wanted to give you more.
Options,
Yeah.
sure. And yeah, of course I cannot just walk up onto that.
Because I mean, that was another thing that was a big thing that pissed me off for Xenoblade Chronicles is that there's a ton of quests and stuff that you can do, and that like side quests that you can do, and you kind of, but you are actually like expected to do that, and you're expected to clear a certain amount of the map, before doing any story quests.
Sure.
And before progressing, but there's only like 10 story quests, and they're all fairly short, and very much like the other quests, except with actual story involved.
Sure. So the game just kind of expects you to kind of play through a bunch of the side quest stuff.
Yeah, and it actually requires you to, because you have to, for some things you have to do
Right. Or I mean,
side
I
quest
suppose
stuff.
the game expects that the most of your time playing the game will be side quests.
Yeah, and it really is. I mean, it's like I said, it's a great game, and I love to play it. It's just it feels like an MMO, and that
Mhm.
I mean, it feels less like an MMO than other games that I've played, but
Right. I mean, because I feel like that's kind of a lot of the originating force there is that like WoW is huge, you know.
yeah, but and I guess the thing about that is like you're losing a lot of the people that don't like to play MMOs,
Right. But I mean, the thing is, it's kind of like
which apparently isn't very many.
it's kind of the question of like what affordances do you want to give? Like there is an established mechanical system for this kind of game. You know, people talk about it a lot. People talk about like the generic open world RPG. Like all your Far Cries, etc.
That's the old
Oh,
meteor.
hey, people talking.
It is. And it's still burning to this day.
Still burning?
Powering all of Lestalem in the process.
That's pretty cool.
Really?
Not unlike the crystal in the Crown City.
Suppose that makes sense.
Maybe Galoof came in this.
Yeah, that's kind of the question of like,
So this is the infamous disc. Hey, Noct, don't you want to get a shot of you in the meteor?
Yeah.
sure.
Why not? Yay! Let's go.
Who's up for a hike?
Okay, photo op.
And
time,
this kind of stuff is kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, like this is kind of road trip stuff.
Yeah.
You know, stopping to get a scenic overlook.
Yeah,
It's just the fact that you're going to be expected to drive back and forth.
that is
past,
a really cool view, though.
Picture time.
But you know, there's this kind of. Well, maybe we'll see if there's more cutscene here
Yeah.
before I start talking again.
Ready or not?
Sure, let's save that. Precious memories.
Oh, love the lighting.
Maybe it would look better at night.
And I suppose you can't go back and do it at night.
Well, I mean, you could.
But also, I mean, let's be fair. It might look better at night, but you also wouldn't probably not be driving at night.
Right.
And now you can't get out. Huh.
But you know, like that's the thing. Like this game took 10 years to develop and had a whole lot of issues. And like I can imagine them being like,
You should go in the direction that you were going.
oh, because
There was a stairway
oh,
down, further down.
well, there might be a stairway this way.
Okay, well, or just that.
Yeah.
That works too.
And so like you know, this game took 10 years to make. It had a very kind of
Rocky development
long
process.
and alarming dev cycle. And I can totally be like, okay, yes, we want to kind of... Oh. Wow. Oh.
Yeah, you're dying. I don't know if you may have noticed.
No, I was going to cast a spell, but then I realized that we had the...
Which would be just as useful right now, because it's got a blast radius.
Well, well.
Just hold it down.
Say your prayers.
Yeah.
that definitely was a thing.
Also, the special attack is good in a group setting. So if you switch to that and use the if you have a bunch of enemies like right around, it would be really good. Wow, they're leveling up.
Yep.
I mean, special attack is in triangle.
Oh.
Yeah, it would be really good in a group, like in a heavy group setting. I think. Then again, Magitech soldiers.
Right.
Okay, so now the question is he? Okay, yeah. Wow, these guys are like
Yeah, they got buffed a lot in between the two areas.
No, I mean like they were level 16 just like a little bit ago, which I mean I would think 2 levels wouldn't make a whole lot of difference, but.
That was a close one.
Too close for comfort.
Wow, got a lot of experience now.
Yep. What was I talking about?
I don't remember.
Right, oh, yeah, tortured development cycle.
Mhm.
And so the thing with that is that, like,
Everything in order.
I can definitely imagine at that point they were just like, yes, we are going to kind of copy the structure of these games we know have been successful. Right?
Mhm.
We don't want to take any huge risks. Like, they even said up front when in some interviews, they were like, if this game does not do super well, then we are not going to really continue with the Final Fantasy brand so much.
And I kind of hate that because the real way to make it not do well is change the formula a whole lot. You know?
Sure, but at the same time,
We've reached a creature crossing.
Ha!
Wow. Where do you think they're all going?
We could always follow him and find out.
Can you though?
let's not.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they're like, because that's the thing, is like, to make a AAA game, you need a lot of resources and you need a lot of stuff. And you don't necessarily get that when you're just doing, like, you need to kind of have this big engine, and you need to develop a lot of time and energy to do that.
Mhm.
Knocked.
Um,
How about taking pics of whatever catches my eye?
but I guess,
How about more shots of Gladio?
Gotcha. I'll see what I can do.
okay.
I bet that's a thing that comes up
Yeah.
occasionally.
But I guess we will see how this story quest goes next time.
Yeah.
So see you then.
See ya.